a pleasure to have Tim Kernan with us. Tim Kernan, a big friend to SA for a long time, a designer at Pelagroso, a lot of other very cool boats that we like and that go well, and also designer of the Santa Cruz 37, Santa Cruz Yachts, SantaCruzYachts.com, our sponsor, and a great bunch of guys who grabbed the whole idea of fast is fun, put it back into action, came out with the 37. Tim, welcome. Nice to have you on board.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, obviously we've been watching you today, and certainly everyone's watching your results. There are a lot of people that are interested in 37. You're not doing well in IRC 1 or 2, sorry. What the hell's going on? The boat looks good, you guys are blazing downwind, what's going on?
You know, I think it really is a matter of IRC and the conditions, you know, horses for courses. We came down here and, you know, obviously IRC penalizes light boats, and we have kind of a crappy IRC rating, but we wanted to come down here and see if our downwind breakout speed potential was enough to, you know, make up for the difference. So, you know, the next boat in the class, assuming we're the smallest, is 3 feet more water line, about twice the weight. We got super chop, you know, conditions out there, and you know, we just those boats just power through the chop and get uphill faster. And then, you know.
And we're seeing 5-leggers too, so not only are you suffering upwind, but you're suffering more time upwind than you are downwind.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So you've got a time-on-time scoring system, you've got an upwind leg that lasts half an hour, and you've got a downwind leg that lasts 10 minutes. So we get to the top mark, we reel a bunch of boats in, you know, blow past them, and then downwind leg's over, back uphill again, and we're just, you know, the ratio's not working out for us, at least not in these conditions.
Well, look, okay, so IRC definitely, and we know this for years, in the 40-foot range, that IRC really is favoring heavy cruising, you know, really cruising weight boats. I mean, you knew that when you started.
Yeah, absolutely.
And instead, I mean, and you focused on fast is fun, just like Bill Lee did all those years ago. Yeah. And so what's the market? I mean, IRC, is it going to take? Is it really taking off in the U.S.? Is it not? I don't know. But I mean, is the focus going to be one design? I mean, what's the deal?
Yeah, I mean, we focused on producing a fun, fast boat to sail, and we purposefully didn't take IRC into account because it's kind of contrary to what Santa Cruz represents. You know, light, fast, downwind flyers. You know, we added a high stability picture to this boat, and it gets uphill really well. But you know, when you set it up against, you know, what you have to do to optimize to IRC, the sacrifice that you make on the downwind side just isn't worth it if you're out there to have fun.
Not unless you're on a long distance race.
And the reality is if you ran an IRC race, even with the rating that we have, it's just a blast reach down the coast or around the island, something like that, we would do just fine.
Yeah.
We'd probably
when
do
we're
very
lured,
well.
it's not going to happen.
Because we're clearly reeling those boats in.
What do you think? Let's say obviously this is not Key West condition, but let's say 8 knots of breeze. What are you going to do to these Mills 43s and stuff?
I think, you know, it depends on the sea condition. You know, again, if it's 8 knots of breeze and flat water, we can do pretty well. I think relative, you know, to our IRC rating, we're probably not going to do very well against them. You know, back to your question of is IRC going to take off in the States? Who knows? U.S. Sailing's certainly pushing. You know, there's a lot of push to get IRC going. I think it's, you know, I consider it. I mean, it's great. It's a club rule, you know, and it's a club rule that's sort of trying to graduate into a more of a Grand Prix rule. I think if that's going to be the case, we're going to have to treat some other boats more fairly, you know, and you know, given that we've got a lot of guys who've, you know, guys who've bought these boats and are considering buying the boats, who might want to race IRC, you know, in one venue or another, you know, we're going to be working on the RORC to, you know, give us a better rating, something that's more realistic to, you know.
It does. I mean, it seems silly that RORC would be encouraging boats that just aren't as fun as other boats. You know? And the goal is to have fun, right? This isn't like, you know, this isn't Formula One where the only thing is results, and you know, we're having fun. This is our life.
Well, the reason is that it was started as a club rule. You know, it was started as a club rule to, you know, to handicap, you know, cruiser racers that were already out sailing, and you know, as such, it was purposefully type one. You know, it wanted to reward the guys with the kind of slower cruiser racer boats. And because it doesn't measure some key factors in you know, speed, like for instance, it doesn't measure stability, you know, so it's really easy to exploit that. I just don't want to. You know,
I like that.
You know,
good for you.
I like fast. You know,
good for you. All right. Well, look.
But
so,
you know, but that being said, if we come to a venue like this and try and compete with those boats that have done that, we're going to
get hurt. Okay, so fine. What other venues are you going to hit in the next 6 months that are going to be more fun? Are you going to, I mean, you know, this kind of stuff?
Yeah, we're thinking about taking this boat in the Jamaica race and letting it loose.
All right.
You know, the guys that, you know, the guys that we missed the Fort Lauderdale feeder race, unfortunately.
Would have been a good one, though.
It would have been. They came down here in this boat, and, you know, the delivery crew were doing 16s to 23s and 20 to 25 knots
with
of
like
breeze.
a beat up old kite, I heard, right?
Yeah, it was off a FAR 36. And our race man.
Was it off a Meridian? One of them. There ain't many of them. Yeah. All right. Well, so what? So Pineapple Cup, maybe, hopefully, Jamaica race.
Yeah.
What else?
Let's see. Well, the one there's one in England that's going to be doing Fastnet.
All right.
And then they're going to, you know, slog uphill for a while, but then come back down. And then that boat's going to go down and actually do Sydney Hobart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The boats are definitely they're holding together really well.
Yeah.
You can beat on them. Which is nice.
How are the ergonomics now? You've had a chance to race it in some pretty hard conditions. How are the ergonomics and how is the deck and you know?
It's good. We're gonna
got some things to change around a little bit.
There's a couple of you know, there's a couple of little items that'll bite you.
All right.
But that's pretty normal for any new boat. Yeah, it's moving a cleat here. And that's the other thing is that, you know, we just put this crew on this boat on Friday, and we've changed a bunch of the setup, and a lot of what we're doing here is to do that, develop a tuning guide for the boat. We got some really, you know, good guys, you know, looking at the rig and the sails and all that stuff. That guy.
He's not one of the good guys, is he? That guy right there?
No.
All right. Well, we'll be watching, and you know, you're a little bit hamstrung. We understand in these conditions, and hopefully you do a little better. But I think we really want to watch in the final. But you need a crew for the Jamaica race?
You want to go?
I'd love to go.
You just want to go down to Jamaica and check in with Dr. Herbalist.
Maybe. That may be true, but I really want to go fast. I like to go fast.
Yeah. Well, this is...
All right. We'll talk.
Thanks, Al.
Brother. Santa Cruz 37, SantaCruzYachts.com.